Good day. It's March 17th, 2019. I've been waiting to dig for the ground to defrost, and looks like we're okay to go. Let the project commence. So last time we left off, we were digging the trench for the pipe, which were coming around fine. Now I could dig. So this is pretty easy with the machine. I could have this done in relatively quick timing, but the plan changed on where it's going to be placed. So instead of the greenhouse being out here, I actually want it set back in the garden more. And of course, this oak stump needs to come out. So for the last hour and a half, I've been removing the stump. We're getting there. Another 20 minutes, half hour, it should be out. It's starting to rock, starting to move around. So now it's just a matter of getting the bottom roots out. Alright, so the greenhouse is going to sit back here more, partially almost all the way into the garden itself, and we're going to rework the fence. Here's a shot of the garden. My raised beds, which a lot of them are covered to keep the weeds down until planting time. Over there are some fruit trees, some plum, apples, peaches. I think that's it. Some cherries over on this side. This is where the main garden's going to be. I got to do some groundhog proofing this year because the groundhogs seem to like killing my garden every year. But anyway, so the plan is continue taking out this root, and then the little strawberry box, which is covered with the weeds right behind it, which is right here, this will come out. I don't necessarily like this box too much, primarily because the weeds just grow right up into it and it's hard to weed whack behind it. It's not high enough. So chances are I'll probably take down this box and try to salvage whatever strawberries out of this box that I can, and then the greenhouse will sit back in here. So that's the update for now. I'm gonna get working again, finishing this oak stump. This tree was about as high as these ones. It's about the same as that, but it was a double. It was that's probably close to 65, 70 feet, because the windmill gives me a point of reference up there, how high they are. So it's a nice size oak. So I'll see you on the flip side once this comes out. Good morning. It's March 18th. So today I want to get the frame in for the greenhouse, the rest of the pipe if I have time. So I got my pressure treated lumber. I got 4x6s. This is a 16-footer. Got 2 of those and 2 12-footers. So first thing I do is take the bases, which is about 9 feet and 14 feet. And I decided I want to have the greenhouse frame completely inside of the greenhouse with the metal aluminum mounted on the outside, so we have no wood exposed. That's how I plan to do it. So to do this, I'm lining up the frame exactly on the end, and we're cutting the long members exactly as long as the beam. I already went through all the math. It seems all legit. Then we'll do the smaller beams, calculating the outside beams, and try to lap joint them if we can with a half lap joint. Now, I managed to get the root out. There she is. It's a little too heavy for my tractor to be rolling around, so it's going to be chopped up sooner or later. But it's out of the way enough that I could continue. Here she was. My plan for the foundation, my current plan, which may change, is to use these 3-inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe down below the frost line. Put 6 of these in, 6 of them. Anchor them, fill them with concrete, cut them down flush to grade level, and install the pressure treated frame on top of these, which will be at ground level. This is pretty much to protect it from sinking down, because it's freshly disturbed soil now. So I don't want the base to settle in. I want it to stay firm. So those 4x6s will rest on these concrete filled pipes. So that's the plan. I'm going to get building of the frame. I'm hoping by today I'll have the base in place with the concrete, the pipes done, and the geothermal tubes trenched in. So maybe tomorrow I could start on the greenhouse itself, and after that back to work. So on this, I'm going to take the square, put it exactly. Now I got to move this out of the way. And mark it. Okay, so I'm going to get working here, and progress will continue. I got 1 half lap joint complete. It's going to be like that. Got 3 more to do. Nice and even. Now, I'm going to put the 4x6s flat. At first I thought I wanted them up, which would be better, I suppose. But there's 2 reasonings why I chose flat. First off is, most importantly, it's going to be extremely hard to make the half lap joints straight up because my circular saw won't reach the depth, and my radial arm saw moving a 14-foot 4x6 centimeter by centimeter is going to be treacherous. So that's the first reason, the difficulty it would be. The second reason is, if you did it, you would have less space lapping. This gives it a full 5.5-inch lap, nice and big, so you'll get better support there. Now the reason we're doing the half lap joint is because if there is frost heave and any of it comes up, say one corner comes up or somewhere over here comes up, it's going to raise the whole frame, and the frame's not going to crook and get crooked in any spot. The whole frame's going to move. So that way, even if there is frost heave, the whole frame moves and the building will stay flush. If I attach these with lag bolts or corner brackets, if the pressure's in a certain way, it could make one beam go higher while the other ones are flush, causing the door to open or the frame to get out of whack. So it is going to be on some kind of footers, as I explained earlier, but there is going to be ground contact in between them, which has possibility of frost heave. So that's what we're doing with these joints. We're going to half lap joint the 4 corners, and we're going to use some through bolts to tie these together. Alright, as the day progresses, we're making some progress. Not as quickly as I hoped. Lesson of the day is everything takes a bit longer than anticipated. So, this is where we left off last time. I was able to trench quite a bit so far. I just had a cave in. I didn't even touch it, and a bunch of this wall fell out in there. So I'm going to start to lay the pipe into the trench as I'm digging, so if it caves in, it'll just bury it. No problem. Now over to the area. The only place that one of the corners of the frame is going to be on disturbed soil is where that pipe is. All the rest is gonna straddle the entire hole that was once here. It's not completely level yet because I'm gonna have to trench into here, so I do not want to smooth it all out yet because it's gonna get all hairy. So I came in here, I got the area a little bit flat, not really. I got some rock back there I'm gonna use, but anyway, this is the area where it's gonna go. I'm gonna trench this around from there around into where the greenhouse is. So we'll see how far I get today. Tomorrow's another day. I'm definitely not gonna get as far as I wanted, but all in all, pretty successful. Well, that's about it for today. I'm on call tonight, so I have to eat some dinner and rest a little bit. So we got this trenched. Not all the way yet. We still have about 20, 30, 35 feet to go around this and to the trench. So we're over halfway, probably about 65%. Most of it is pretty deep. It's over my head. That's over in between 5 to 6 feet deep here. Most of it's over 5 feet except where it enters because the ground level goes low and the top of the tank, if you remember, is only about 3 feet. So I might have to fluff it up over there later. But the hose is definitely pretty deep. So I'm gonna call it a day. Tomorrow's another day. Good morning. It is March 19th, the day before spring. So got an early start today. And we completed the trench. I'll show it to you. I ran the PEX underneath the tubes, so it's protected from backfill. The trench I'm happy with. It came out very deep. Parts of it are over my head. It's all well below the frost line. Maybe not exactly under the greenhouse, but it's going to be warm in there anyway. So I trenched it. And at the end it splits for the back end of the greenhouse. So I plan to have both tubes, the intake and exhaust, coming out of the back on either side, and they go down and over. So originally I bought 140 feet. I used about 10 foot extra inside the septic tank, so it was about 130 feet. And I went and bought 2 more today. Actually, I bought 3. I have an extra one in case I need to extend it. So altogether, you're talking 150 feet of tubing. Now, if I would have done regular geothermal with a 14-foot greenhouse, if I would have done 10 tubes, 14 feet long, that would have been 140 feet. And that's what a lot of people do under their greenhouse, only the tube alone. In this situation, we have that amount of tube, 140, 150 feet, plus a huge geothermal tank to collect heat. So I think we're going to do real well with this. So what I'm going to do next, I got the electric, but I don't want to put it down by the water. Code violation, so I'm going to bury this about halfway. And I'm going to lay the electric on top and continue excavating to get the site prepped. So that's the plan of attack. I'll update in a little while. Alright, we're packing it up for today, cleaning up. Down here's still a mess. I gotta grade all that. But I've been concentrating up here. I have the trench backfilled. I have the pipes, electric and water, where they're supposed to be. I laid the frame out, I leveled it, and I installed all my pipes, which are going to be filled with concrete. So when the beams are resting on those pipes, the frame is level. The plan is, my work week starts tomorrow, so Sunday, if the weather's nice, if I can, Monday, Tuesday, start the rest. I'm going to lay the frame down, fill these with concrete, drop some anchors into the concrete to hold the frame down. At that point, make sure I use my driveway stone, my 2A modified, underneath the beams so they're nice and flush and flat. They're going to be tied down below frost level. So, looks good. Progress. So by next week we should have some framing action, putting up the greenhouse and whatnot. So I'll talk to you then. Another week went by. It's March 24th. Today had a good day. We got the front end of the greenhouse built, ready for installation tomorrow, I'm hoping. Have to build the rear end gable. Let's go to the site. Alright, we're all backfilled. The final touches will come later. We have the frame in place on top of the pipes. I have the base aluminum structure framed out. Everything's level. Everything's square. From corner to corner, corner to corner is exactly square. Used a level, made sure everything is flush. Looks good. Started bringing in some driveway stone. Started putting it under. I'm going to touch up the outside at the end. I'm probably, most likely, going to get 2x4s and put them on the inside. Screw the base aluminum into 2x4s also. Give it a little more support. But it's pretty solid. The geothermal tubes are coming up on the inside. The water line I have covered because ultraviolet rays I don't want affecting the PEX until I finish, which I'm going to cover up at the end. So, success, full day. Tomorrow I'm hoping to have some of the greenhouse installed. See you then.